Hello and welcome to the Inner Game of Entrepreneurship podcast. I'm your host, Sarah. And today on the show, we're talking about good old be, do, have versus have, do, be. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. If you've been in my world for a while, you may have heard me talk about it before. And if you've been in the personal development space, you have probably heard people talk about this concept. But in case you haven't, let me break it down real quick. Be, do, have versus have, do, be. It's exactly what it sounds like. A lot of people think if I have this, then I'll do this, and then I'll be this. And for the sake of our episode today, we're going to say, if I had $1 million business and I was already making 7 figures annual revenue, then I would do these certain things that I know I need to do to scale my business, and then I would be a 7-figure CEO. Have, do, be. If I had more money, then I would do things differently, and then I would be the kind of person who has this result. But what really works if we want to create any type of change is that we have to change the operating system to be, do, have. Identity comes first. First, I have to be a CEO of a 7-figure business in my head. I have to start thinking and operating like I'm already the CEO of a 7-figure company. When I start thinking and operating like I'm already the CEO of a 7-figure company, when I start being a 7-figure CEO, I'm naturally going to do the things a 7-figure CEO would do. I'm going to make faster, clearer decisions. I'm going to prioritize what's best for the long-term good of the company over what my personal preference is in the moment. I'm going to hire quickly and fire even faster than that. I am going to continually be looking for ways that I can grow the business, right? I'm going to do the things a 7-figure CEO does because that's who I am. I already am that person. So of course, those are the things I would do. And as a result, I'm going to have the things that a 7-figure CEO would have. I'm going to have the natural results of doing those actions. Be leads to the doing, leads to the having. So many people are trying to do it backwards. They want to have the proof. They want to have the result before they do new things, before they change their behavior, before they make new decisions, before they show up differently. And then they think once they have all of the things and then they start doing different things, that's when they're going to be allowed to say, now I can say that I am this thing. It's never how it works. Because as long as you're operating from have, do, be, what you're going to keep doing is looking at the evidence of what you have to give you instructions on how you should be acting. And you are only going to be the person who's waiting for proof that you're allowed to be different. If you currently are making 6 figures in your business and that's going well for you, that's awesome. Congratulations. First of all, you've done some things so few people ever do. Great work. So you have this 6-figure business. The way that you're currently doing things every day are the actions that are getting you those 6-figure results, and that's working well. And as a result, you are the operator of a 6-figure business. You may or may not yet be a CEO. We've talked about this before. CEO is actually a job description. And right now you may be the founder of a business. You may be the operator of a business. You might be running a business, but you might not actually be playing the job description of chief executive. There might be no one doing that in your company right now. So you're the owner of a 6-figure business, the operator of a 6-figure business, and that is working well for you. That is who you are. There is a chance you don't even see yourself as that yet. I work with a lot of people who have a 6-figure business and the things that they're doing are getting them those 6-figure results. But the way they think of themselves is, I'm like a hippie hustler who snuck in through the back door and doesn't even really belong here. I'm a former homeless kid who, is like a punk rocker and just happens to be making a lot of money right now. And who knows how long that'll last, right? The identity of who you're being may not even align with the results you're already creating, let alone be the identity of the person who can take your business to the next level. Have, do, be will only ever agree with current reality, with more of what you have now. And so as long as you're operating in this mode, you are capping your business's growth potential. When we move into be, do, have, everything changes. This is why changing at the identity level is so crucial. This might sound like a little detour, and I've told this story on the pod before, I think, but I'm going to tell it again because I swear it's relevant. A couple years ago, I wanted to change my relationship with weightlifting. I love weightlifting. I've been doing it for a really long time. I used to be a personal trainer. But at the time when I made this goal, I was kind of relating to my lifting workouts as being a bit of a chore, right? I liked my dancing. I liked yoga. I liked going for walks, but weightlifting, I was like, oh, this is a thing I have to do so that I don't get osteoporosis or whatever. It's not something I love doing. And I set a fitness goal that wasn't really a fitness goal. It was an identity goal. And my goal for the year, I believe it was 2024, was I'm going to become a gym rat. Not I'm going to lift weights more. Not I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to be a gym rat. I'm going to be a gym girly. I'm going to be one of those girls who never misses her gym routine. I'm going to be one of those girlies who is into my workout outfits. I had all these ideas about who that person is. The girls I see at the gym who I look at them and I'm like, first of all, you're always here when I'm here. Your physique goes crazy. You look like you lift weights, and I like that in a woman. And you're a gym rat. You're this is what I think of when I think of a gym girly. I think of you. I have ideas about what that person is like. That person thinks a lot about protein. You know what I'm saying? They spend money willingly on cute gym clothes. They don't let their gym shoes wear out. They, might have a higher tier gym membership or a nicer gym membership than me. They have a gym schedule. They pack their gym bag in advance. They treat their gym time like an appointment on their calendar that can't be moved. They look forward to it. They say things like lifting weights is my therapy. You know what I'm saying? I have this picture in my head of who a gym rat was. And rather than saying, I'm going to do all these behaviors, that at the time felt really far away from who I felt myself to be, which is someone who goes to the gym whenever, but it's not really a thing, I just didn't see myself that way. Wasn't my identity. So asking myself to do all of these behaviors wasn't congruous. So what I did instead was said, I'm going to become a gym rat. And I sat down with my journal and I wrote out all of the personality traits that I felt like that person had. And I just started being her. I just started treating my own schedule in the same way. I started prioritizing where weightlifting fit in my schedule. I started creating structured weightlifting programs for myself again. I started documenting my lifting progress. I started taking pictures of my lifting. I started posting pictures from the gym every day. I started thinking a lot about protein and tracking my macros and all of this stuff. It's now been a couple years since I made that goal, and I'm in that gym multiple times a week. And the other thing that happened as a result of becoming a gym rat that I totally wasn't anticipating because it wasn't even on my radar was that I started having gym community. People started recognizing me as you're always here when I'm here. I know people at my gym by name. We say hi to each other. The people who all work out at the same time kind of know, oh, we're the early morning people. And sometimes when I would be out and I'd hit the evening for a few days, when I was back in the morning, somebody would see me and be like, hey, where you been? I haven't seen you for a few days. You okay? I was not anticipating that was part of what came with this identity because I hadn't been that identity in this body in this stage of my life before. I share all of this to say, if I had made the goal to lift weights more, I might have done it. I might have pushed myself to go work out a few days a week, but I wouldn't have found all of these other facets of my relationship with weightlifting that I now really enjoy. And going to the gym might have still felt like a slog and a chore and something I was making myself do that I didn't want to do. But when my goal was to become a gym rat, to be a gym girly, well, what do gym girlies do? They go to the gym. Why would I not go to the gym? That's what I do. It's the whole identity. It's the whole thing. Why would I not buy myself the cute workout outfit? I'm going to wear it because I'm going to be at the gym. All of these things naturally flowed from the goal of becoming this type of person and acting as if I'm going to start being this kind of person now. And if I'm acting from the identity of gym rat, of gym girly, what are the actions I'm going to take? I wasn't thinking about the results that much. I didn't have a big physique goal. I wanted to be that person who loved going to the gym and loved lifting weights. So I focused on becoming that person and what I should do every day. The question of should I go to the gym or not? Well, if I'm a gym rat, then duh. The question answers itself. I hope that this is landing. So we're in the arena of business and we're saying, I want a 7-figure business. I want to make 7 figures in annual revenue. But the way that you're operating is from the operator identity of the person who does the things that a 6-figure business owner does. The way that you're showing up is from the identity of person who makes $100,000 a year or $50,000 a year, or doesn't even think they belong where they are right now. And they're just hoping nobody notices that they're in the room, just trying to squeak by. That is not going to get you new results. When we talk about results, the results of what? Results come from input, new output, new behavior, new results. And if we want new behavior, we need to be different. We can try to force ourselves to take new actions, but taking these new actions from the old identity is going to create a lot of friction and a lot of strain and a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety and a lot of fraught emotions. But if you sit in the seat of, I'm a 7-figure business owner. Not only that, I am a 7-figure CEO. I am the chief executive of this company. I am the person in charge of the growth of the business. I am the person in charge of leading this company, first setting the company vision, and then leading us to that vision. Everything begins and ends with me. It is a peerless job. There is no one above me at this company. I'm the person steering the ship. And this is a 7-figure company. That's who I am. Period, point blank. It's who I am. When you sit in that identity for a second, does it make you sit up a little straighter? Do you immediately feel how that person makes different decisions on the day-to-day than the decisions you're making right now? And if so, and you're not driving, take out your pen and write it down. What are those decisions? How are they different? Do you stop putting off that hire that you've been knowing you need to make? Do you start getting more serious about documenting your processes and your systems? Do you allow yourself to make the pivot that you've been wanting to make for a long time? Do you raise your prices? Do you fire a nightmare client? Like, what do you automatically do as the 7-figure CEO that you're not doing right now? Do you see how the being immediately changes what you would do? And the question becomes, if the way that you're being immediately changes what you would do, what do you think would happen if you started doing those things now, instead of waiting until you have the sales, instead of waiting until you have the results? What would happen in your business if you started doing those things now? This question excites me, and it excites me so much, in fact, that I am dropping a brand new mini mind. It is a 6-week program called the 7-Figure CEO Experiment. And every day for 6 weeks, we're going to live in this question. what happens when you start thinking, leading, and deciding like you're already a 7-figure CEO right now. When you stop waiting for the evidence and you start deciding that's who I am. And because that's who I am, this is what I do. Now let's see what we're going to have as a result of these new decisions. This program is going to start September 22nd. It runs through the end of October. The doors are not open yet. They're going to open September 7th. But if you are on my email list, I start talking about it and telling you about what's coming, what the details are going to be, why we're doing this. I'm going to start talking about it all this week. If you're not on my email list, you can join by going to intuitiveedgecoaching.com/pod sign up. All one word, PODSIGNUP, intuitiveedgecoaching.com/pod sign up. And you can get yourself on the list and just let me know that you want to join and we'll get you in there. Now, here's the best thing about this program. I'm so excited about it. It is 6 weeks of 7-figure strategy training. Because if you don't know for sure what you would do differently if you were a 7-figure CEO, that's the first gap we have to close. I'm going to help you understand that. You're going to practice thinking, leading, and deciding in a new way in your business. You're going to have 6 weeks of live hot seat coaching with me. You're going to have 6 weeks of masterminding with creative, ambitious, genius founders just like you. And the whole thing is $66. Because I really want you to be there. I want to remove every single obstacle you can think of for why you can't join. I could easily tack another 6 or 2 onto this program and feel completely comfortable and confident with it. In fact, when I told my coach I was going to do this, she said not to do it, but I'm the CEO of me and we're doing it because I know in my gut that it's the right thing to do. So the 7-figure CEO experiment is only $66 for all 6 weeks of training and masterminding and hot seat coaching with me. It starts September 22nd. You cannot even sign up yet. The doors are not open, but I am sharing the details and talking about it and inviting people to tell me that they want to join, starting a little wait list on my email list, intuitiveedgecoaching.com/pod sign up. If you're not already on my email list, go get in there. You'll get an email all about this and you can let me know that you want to join. You can also DM me on Instagram at Intuitive Edge Coaching and let me know that you want to join. I would love to talk with you there. If you're already on my email list, you're going to start getting emails about this. So let me know. Just hit reply to that email and let me know that you want to sign up. This is going to be really good and really fun. And genuinely, we're going to be working in the spirit of experimentation. What happens when we lead differently for 6 weeks in our business? What new things come out when we put new inputs in? I cannot wait to do this with you. It's going to be so fun. That's all I have for you today. I hope you're as excited as I am. Okay, love you. Bye.
That's our episode for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. I know there are so many things that you could be doing with your day, so many things you could be listening to, and it means so much that you are here in this community. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment, share it on social media, and tag me at Intuitive Edge Coaching. Share it with a biz bestie who you think needs to hear it and will appreciate it. And take a moment to to subscribe, and to leave a 5-star review wherever you are listening. It helps me grow this show and it helps us grow and sustain this brilliant community of entrepreneurs dedicated to doing the inner work. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, love you. Bye.